I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible because I'm holding my webcam. But I chose questions A, E, G, and K. So the first question goes 2,500 is deposited to an account that earns 2% compounded quarterly. No more deposits or withdrawals are made. How much interest would we have earned over 15 years? Well, over here is our formula. P and then in parentheses 1 plus Rn to the nt power. So 2,500 is P. 1 is always there, and then I took 2% and turned that into a decimal, and then the 4 comes from quarterly because there's 4 in quarterly. And then you would take your quarterly times your years, which is 15, and then you're just gonna go about solving it. I ended up getting a total of 3,372 with 13 cents to find the interest gained, because that's our total amount. We would have taken this number minus 2,500, and then that gets us our 872 and 13 cents. On to the next, we have E. Seth sold his car for 9,000. He then placed the money into the account that earns 8% interest compounded semi-annually. So how much would he have after 30 months saved in interest? Again, we're just using our formula. So 9,000 in parentheses 1, 8% becomes 0.08. In decimal form, semi-annually is twice a year, so that's where our 2 comes from. So we're going to have 2. And then since we had 30 months, I just converted 30 months into what would be years and got 2.5. So then you're just going to come down here and solve. Got a total of 10,949 and 88 cents. To find the interest that has occurred or been saved over time, we would just take our total minus our original investment, which was 9,000, and then that would give us our interest. On to G. I did all the Natalie has invested 800 in an account that earns 4.8% interest compounded monthly. After 5 years, she reinvests into an account that earns 6% compounded semi-annually. She invested in 2003. How much would she have by 2025? So we have two that we needed to do here. This was for the first investment, and again, we're just using our formula. We're plugging in 800, parentheses 1. You turn your 4.8 into a decimal, so you would just take that 4.8 divided by 100. 12 for, let's see, it's compounded monthly, and there's 12 months in a year, and she's had that investment for 5 years, which would become 1,016 and 51 with a total interest of 216 and 51. And then you would come over here and put your total, which was the 1,016 and 51, into the next equation, which would be the same equation but with just new numbers. And then since that account has a 6% interest rate, that's why we see 6 here. It's semi-annually, so 2. and then you have 12 years left on this investment. You can see we had a total of 2,707 with 1 cent. To figure out the total amount invested over that time span, we would just add the two together. And for the last one, I ran out of room on both sheets of paper, and I didn't have any more scratch paper, so I just did it on the back of my notebook. And this one we did in class, but the description for the problem goes: Nye deposited $750 in a new bank account that earns 5.8% interest compounded continuously. For this, we needed a different formula, which I believe is called the PERT formula, which is very similar. We just end up having our total investment, which is $750 and then our rate is 58%, so it would become 0.058. And then for months, we put 1.25. This is the one we did in class. The reason we put 1.25 is because 15 months is the equivalent to 1 and 1.25 years, I guess. So to do this, we had to plug this into the calculator, and depending on which calculator you're using or your phone, you would have to type it in a specific way. But your total should be 806.39.